I hope you are prepared for what can happen. I know your mother is dying, but... No, I mean you being scorned by her and some of my relatives that may be there. We may be ignored completely by some of them. Even if that happens, we will be there for each other. And I'm used to being scorned or ignored by Christian bigots. Anyway, I was wondering something. You and Mother Jessica clearly come from different backgrounds. How did you meet? And what made you fall in love with her? Oh, that is quite a story. Waitress, I asked for corn and instead I got cornbread, which is not the same. Take this dish back and fix it, please. I apologize for the mistake. I will.
Lucy, that's it. As of now, you are fired.
What? Without giving me another chance? I was profoundly heartbroken and left the restaurant in despair. I sat on a park bench crying, my head in my hands, until I felt a hand on my shoulder, and when I looked up. I am so sorry. I didn't know you would be fired. That was a cruel thing for your boss to do. He was actually looking for an excuse to get rid of me. He sexually harasses his female employees, and most of them go to bed with him in order to keep their jobs. I refused. Because I am lesbian. Well, that's a coincidence. So am I. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I only came out a year ago, which caused my family to disown me. I was forced to live on my own, and I've been living paycheck to paycheck ever since. If my rent is not paid by the end of this month, I will be homeless. Not if I can help it. It looks like you need a new friend, and I need a roommate. You are welcome to move in with me. Seriously? But you hardly know me. I know that I caused you to lose your job and that you are a lesbian like me, and I sense you are not yet comfortable with your sexual orientation. I assume you had a strict religious upbringing. Indeed, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. But I don't follow that religion anymore, obviously. So that's how it got started. For the first week, I slept on Jessica's couch and I acted as her living maid. Then one day, she invited me to actually sleep with her. And I did, and I totally enjoyed it. It seems she had a beautiful soul even then. Yes. She helped me get my next job, and over time we grew closer. I decided I would convert to whatever her religion was and was shocked to learn she was an atheist. You were shocked? Yes, because I had always assumed that atheists had to be bad people to reject God and religion. But over time, I saw the truth, and thus became atheist too. Some of the cruelest acts in history happened because of religions. And then you got married? Yes. Jessica took me on a cruise ship and the captain married us. He was a friend of her family, and dozens of her relatives were there. But none of mine. And what about me? How did I enter the picture? Before you were born, we tried adoption, but most adoption agencies refused us because we were lesbian. So we looked up sperm donors. We found one that was a medical student with a clean bill of health and a clean legal record. He sold us his sperm and we used it to impregnate Jessica. You were born the following year. You know my genetic father? Is there any chance I could meet him? Sure, but he signed a legal document terminating any parental rights to you and specifying that you were not to meet with him until you were 18. And you are only 13 now. I understand. We will eventually reach the hospital my mother is at. But before that, there is someone I'd like you to meet. Who are we going to see? A very special friend. Sophia. Lucy, what brings you here? And who is this? She is my daughter, Carrie. My mother is dying of cancer, and I want to see her one last time and give Carrie a chance to meet her too. But since you live here, I thought I'd have you also meet Carrie and tell her about your experiences among the Jehovah's Witnesses. Come on in, Carrie, and have a seat. When I was a child, I, along with my brother Caleb, were celebrities among the Jehovah's Witnesses. We were made to appear in dozens of short films that were used to promote the cult's teachings. I know. I've seen a few of them on YouTube. I thought they were stupid. I especially hated the one in which your mother tried to get you to preach to a little girl and her lesbian mothers. You have no idea how badly that video hurt my heart. I am so sorry. Please forgive me for that. You have to understand that I was so brainwashed that I knew no better. It might interest you to know that even the Watchtower leaders themselves know how badly that video damaged their public image, and they have been issuing copyright claims to get copies of that infamous piece of crap deleted from YouTube. That's hilarious. But I assume that you, like Mother Lucy, defected from the JWs. What made you quit? A perverted elder molested me when I was about your age and I went to the police about it. The elder was arrested and sent to prison, but I was called a slut by other girls and even some older men and women, who claimed I must have invited the abuse. That was enough to make me rebel. Blaming the victim is never cool, you know. Even my parents became cold to me. The only one among the witnesses that supported me was my brother Caleb. As soon as I turned 18, I got the hell out of that household of hypocrites. Caleb followed suit a few years later.
Thank you, Sophia. But Carrie and I need to get going now. We have a long way to go.
Thank you for letting me meet Carrie. I am so glad she is having a better childhood than I did.